Equal. Equal.
What is good, you guys? It's your boy Ty2 Sly, back with another 4-part special for you guys. I'm here with Eli, Emilio. It's good to have you guys on. We kind of wanted to, implement a short 4-part series throughout the holidays for you guys. Just keep topics fresh, relevant. So we hope you guys enjoy.
Yeah, this first part, we got to jump in. Like I said, it's going to be a 4-part series. This first part is going to be the best things of the year. In our opinion, what some of the best things were for us personally, and maybe for like pop culture, sports, whatever it is, but to us personally speaking. And honestly, we can start over there with you, man. What are some of your best things of the year? Maybe top things you like this year? Because 2022 was a pretty good year, I'd say. It was a good year.
It was.
I'm not going to lie, man. One of the best things for 2022 was the Batman coming out.
Ooh, I like that.
I mean, I've talked about this movie pretty much all year throughout, multiple episodes. And, man, I actually just recently watched it about a few days ago, just to turn it on. And
Nice little rewatch.
Yeah, and, it's become one of my, favorite movies. I watched it multiple times this year. But not only is it just, a good movie, but it's also kind of changing the way that DC wants to, produce their films, and in result, it's just been, some pretty good movies coming out. Like
Best movie of the year?
The Batman. Oh yeah, definitely best movie of the year.
Okay.
Easily my movie of the year. And
you've seen a lot of them this year. I'll give you that. You and Tyler both.
Yeah.
And you like I said, like the result of that movie being so good is, DC, Black Adam was a really good movie also, which I feel like, the direction of it kind of plays from the Batman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, I love something where if one movie is able to turn a whole series or franchise into just great movies, because I love watching great movies.
Yeah.
That's definitely.
So like set the wave.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely one of my best things of 2022. I think another one is music was good this year. It wasn't the best, that music has ever been, but music was really good this year. And I kind of want to also give a credit to a lot of people, a lot of artists dropping, because a lot of artists dropped this year, and made sure to put out music for their fans. And it's just been some really good music this year. I feel like definitely 2021 was definitely kind of weak.
The greatest rapper to ever get in a booth dropped last year, so that will never be a fluke.
Kanye dropped this year. Drake dropped.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Piggybacking off you and the music, and I want y'all's opinions on this. I feel like this year is obviously rap. The sound of rap has been changing a lot, and just from 2016 to where we are now, from 2012 to 2016 to now 2022, I feel like this was the year. It's like rap music is really about to just evolve into just some different shit, especially with Yeet getting just so mainstream this year. And, cats like Ken Carson getting hot, Destroy Lonely. There's a whole list of them now,
It's like the underground's becoming more mainstream and respected almost. People really still,
Drake doing beats with Filthy.
Exactly. People still respect, don't get it wrong. People still respect the classic. I write down my raps, my lyrics are hard, they hit. But, sometimes whenever you can use your voice as a melody, people like that. People think that's unique.
Yeah.
I think it's unique.
Yeah. And I think it's one of those things where, like, I think before it's kind of heavily has been, these are underground rappers. This is their sound. Nobody's really going to have this sound besides them unless they blow up, but I feel like rap, it's like you said, Eli, is slowly just becoming
evolving.
more, where like more and more sound is accepted, and it's like, oh, this person right here, he may have a sound, he may be more underground kind of coming up. He has a sound he's never seen before. And not that these bigger artists are just pretty much stealing their flow, stealing their sound, but it's like, it's kind of getting respect. Like it's putting more respect on them than on a younger artist, more underground artist, giving them their respect and, knowing that they still are, important in music and can still, make good music.
Yeah.
So
Tyler, before you get into just your personal best things of the year and such, I want to hear your best movie of the year, and maybe even because you're like I said, you're a very, very avid TV watcher. Maybe even your best show of the year if you have that.
Bet. I'll say this for me. Don't get it fucked up. This is for me. Best TV show that I watched this year was probably White Lotus on HBO Max. I just love that. It's just
White
weird.
Lotus. I've never heard of it.
It's weird and unique, man. It's just, if you know, you know. My favorite movie this year probably was Black Adam. So with Group Chat Convos and this podcast, I have learned that, social media has a big influence on people's lives. I can get my voice across a platform to grow. I can get my opinions across a platform to discuss other people's opinions, Kanye West was very influential to me this year. Just simply how he, honestly, from the Free Larry Hoover concert in Atlanta with Drake, was that last year?
I'm not sure.
Well, he had a Free Larry Hoover concert in Atlanta whenever he was, dropping that Donda merch, and he had those arena tours, and like the shirts were insanely high. He just, I didn't like Kanye as much as I do now back then because I didn't understand what Kanye was trying to perceive. But as time has come on and I've seen him speak up more whenever, Black people, people of color, just people in general who don't have a say in what they want to do with their careers in the industry, it's hard for them to speak up because they don't want to get, just like cut off from the scene. They don't want to have an NDA lawsuit against them because they spoke about something that they signed their life away to not to talk about, And Kanye has that uniqueness where he's going to get his point across, he's going to have his opinion no matter what you say. His opinion is his own, and he knows that he has power behind his voice. And yes, sometimes he doesn't use it how he should, and he speaks first and thinks later. But, Kanye is a provider of influence to me in the sense that he can, you can do better than what the people are telling you. You can do better than what you see out there. You have so much power within yourself to do these things, and you have so many opinions for yourself to do certain things in life. You can't let other opinions dictate what you want to do with yourself. So, yeah, to wrap that up, to sum that up, essentially I just felt like Kanye has influenced, mass media in general. He's been on news reporters, he's been on news channels, he's been on, interviews, he's been on podcasts, and, he still sticks true to the same thing. He feels like he's not getting the representation of what he's trying to do as much as he should because of other people in the industry of a certain religion that are doing these things and that are, beating him on these things. They're not giving him the room to grow. They're just kind of snuffing him down. But
yeah,
Kanye, as we started this, earlier this year in January, I've just seen the growth that we've had, and I've seen the growth that Kanye's had in the same year. So I'm not comparing us to Kanye. We're better than Kanye, but Kanye is definitely an influence to me in 2022. So shout out Kanye, good or bad. I'm going to stick through with Kanye.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah. That's dope. Never heard that perspective. That's a great perspective to
He's
look at it as.
He's
for
a
real.
young king.
Yeah, definitely. Eli, before we wrap this up, give us some stuff that you got for best of 2022.
Yeah, man. We all know since, like I said, we've been doing this for a year, been doing it since January, and I think it's pretty clear by now, especially if you've tuned in. I give the best takes on here. And what is it? I'm going to stick to it, maybe towards the music lane a little bit, music and sports lane. And I say for album of the year for me, and I was thinking about this because, I wanted to really come to a good decision. And honestly, bro, this might be a hot take. Tory's got album of the year for me.
Man.
Tory's album was fuego, bro. Top to bottom. The melodies, the beat changes, the flow changes. He was on there spitting. You go to the next song, it's a little melody you can ride in the car with a shorty with.
That's my sister's favorite album.
Like, I love that album, bro. Yeah. Now, Her Loss is up there as well. And shout out, honorable mention, Brent Faiyaz. That album was good.
I forgot about that album.
That album was so good.
I love that album too.
And I'd probably say, honestly, best new rapper this year, I think I'd go with okay, the rapper that made the biggest jump this year, I'll say that. Rapper that made the biggest jump this year, in my opinion, was, and honestly, my opinion had changed 3 days ago. I have to put him in this conversation now since he just dropped, or 2 days ago. I Swear Vezo and Babyface, bro. The jumps they made from where they were at in January to now in December, bro, is crazy.
Vezo got a feature with Jeezy.
Yeah, he signed to QC now.
That's crazy.
Like
Yeah,
the jumps they made in their careers were
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal, and I love it for him. You know,
Yeah.
like we've been listening to him since way, but before even Yachty made that collab on with all those Detroit
Bro,
cats.
whenever Flint, Michigan's water was still being talked about how shitty it was, we were listening to them niggas.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like how you said, they just signed a QC. Vezo
Literally.
just signed a QC.
So props to those boys. Props to those Detroit boys. You know, y'all ever want to get on here, just hit us. You know, ain't no problem to set it up. You know what it is,
Oh,
group
yeah.
chat convos. But, and then, Emilio, I want you to hear this one. The best football game of this year, to me, was the Bills versus Chiefs AFC divisional round.
Oh yeah, that
Football game of the year. Maybe
That-
century.
What
I
made
don't know.
What made it the best game of the year?
Well, Tyler, this is just like you're not really into sports, but
At
it's
all?
like, bro, if you were to watch that game, bro, your head would have just been blown away.
That-
Bro, that was literally football at its purest form, played at the highest level.
Yeah,
like
that-
it was insane.
that Chiefs and Bills game, the AFC in the AFC playoffs, man, that's literally like what you want out of a football game. High scoring, they're going back and forth.
Down to the
Still-
last
yeah,
second.
To the wire.
Literally still good defensive plays. It comes down to the very last play in regulation, and then it goes to overtime, and it's a crazy overtime.
Ooh.
And the way it ends, like it was perfect. Like it was
Picture perfect.
everything that you could ask for out of a football game, except for it being your favorite team.
Yeah.
Like that's,
Yeah,
that's literally
literally.
the only thing. Like there was nothing that I took away from that game and wished it went differently.
Yeah.
Like I
Yep.
love that game. That was definitely one of the best games I've watched. Super Bowl, not Super Bowl, doesn't matter. Football game, sports game in general. That Chiefs
Damn,
and Bills
that game was
game.
Yeah,
fire.
Bro, because it was like, bro, I swear to God, Tyler, there was probably like 3 points within the like minute to 30 seconds left in the game where like someone scored, you're like, all right, the game's over. And then the motherfuckers just come back and score. You're like, okay, now it's definitely over. Then they come back and score again. It's like, bro, this shit is crazy,
Like,
bro. Like,
it's like some shit you can't even replicate in a video game. Like
Yeah.
that's how good it was.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
too nice.
Yeah, it was pretty much like every time you think, oh no, there's no way they can do this. They do it, and it's for both teams.
Yeah.
that they do
And
it.
they
they're
went into
just taking
overtime.
turns. It
Yeah.
was nuts. It
Yeah.
was nuts. And then for basketball game of the year, I have to go with game 4 of the NBA Finals when the Warriors went to the Celtics and Curry just shut that shit down. And they went on that 3-game win streak to close it out.
That
That's when
was-
he dropped, I think he dropped 43 that game. And in the first quarter, he talked about it on a podcast he was on. He had hit a shot and looked at the crowd. He said, I'm here now. And he just went nuts. And then, like I said, they went on that 3-game win streak and closed it out. That was the best basketball game I watched this year.
Yeah, that's pretty much like prime Curry. That's like
Pete Curry.
like that's exactly a definition of Curry's career right there.
Yeah.
That game, and then just going on to just beating them and just you know, they didn't blow him out every game, but you knew that Curry was there, and you know it wasn't no stopping Curry. You know,
Yeah.
you get the flashbacks of LeBron on the Cavs with Kyrie trying to stop Curry, and he can't fucking do it. You know,
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
I want to ask y'all, I want to get one more take from y'all, and I'll go first. The craziest thing this year that happened, and mine is, honestly, Will Smith slapping the shit out of Chris Rock.
Man, that was.
That shit was nuts. That to me, that was one of the craziest things of the year.
You know, whenever I saw that, I thought it was a joke.
I did too.
yeah,
I thought it was a
yeah.
joke.
That shit looked fake when it happened. Like,
Yeah.
It did. And then
Yeah.
the fact that, what didn't Jada say after? She was like, I didn't need him to do that for me. It's like, man, Will Smith, I'm sorry. I love Will Smith. He's my favorite actor. I met the cat when I was like 10 years old. But man, you got to get out of that, man. I
Yeah.
can't hold
Will
you.
Will Smith might have took. He's definitely up there for the biggest L of the year.
Biggest L.
We'll get into that in another special episode.
The craziest thing that happened to me that I thought, again, was Kanye West talking about Adolf Hitler. He crossed the bridge and he burnt it down. You can't get back over that.
Honestly, I'm probably with you on that, Tyler, too, just because like Kanye for the longest has been one of my, top 3 rappers of all time, most influential rappers, like pretty much one of my favorite rappers. He's been one of my favorite rappers for the longest, and he's just been on the craziest shit, good and bad, for 2022. You know, like,
Yeah.
you spoke a lot about it, and even with what you just said, like, man, like, some of the things he came out and said, I just look at him like, there's no fucking way Kanye's doing this. And then I also look at it crazily, just like, yo, he's fucking, for how much money he has, and I've never seen anybody just come out and just speak out on fucking everything.
That's crazy.
Go on the air and say he's denouncing every celebrity, every person, only naming he stands with Ray J, like, and then tells all them niggas, come see me about it. Like somebody of his status, as much money he has, as big as he is, how influential, like him doing that, like I've never seen somebody do that before on that type of level. So Kanye's definitely one of the craziest shit of this year. I think 2022 has been a pretty good year. There's been a lot of good things. There's been a lot of bad things. Like I said, we're
Lost
gonna
a lot of hoes.
yeah, for you.
Crazy.
But yeah, man, like I said, this is part 1. We got, 3 more parts coming. We're definitely gonna get into some of the bad things about this year, which there's been a lot of, man. You're tuned in to the greatest podcast in the world. Shout out to the boys. Shout out Stony Mountain, man. Shout out Iwazo. And and we out.